If you work with data, there's this one decision you have to make that shapes literally everything else: speed, cost, and even what's possible. It's the choice between two fundamental paths for how your data moves. Today, we're breaking down that critical decision: batch versus streaming. So, batch or streaming? Honestly, this is the question that probably keeps a lot of data architects up at night. Because this isn't just about picking a technology, it's about defining the very heartbeat of your entire application. If you get it right, your system feels smooth, almost effortless. But if you get it wrong, you are stuck in a constant and very expensive game of catch-up. And I'm really not exaggerating here. Making the wrong choice at this stage can lead to incredibly costly redesigns down the line. Or worse, a system that just fundamentally fails to do what the business needs it to do. So, to make the right choice, we've got to first understand what these two paths really are. All right, so let's really break this down. At its core, you've got two fundamental ways your data can move. Think of them like two completely different types of highways for your information, and each one has its own rules of the road. This is probably the simplest, most powerful way to get your head around it. Batch processing, that's like waiting for the mail to show up once a day. You get this big bundle of letters and packages all at once. Streaming, on the other hand, is like watching a live news ticker at the bottom of your screen. Information is just flowing in constantly, one event at a time, as it happens. Okay, this really gets to the heart of the trade-off, right? Just look at latency. With batch, we're talking minutes, sometimes even hours. Streaming operates in milliseconds. That massive difference in speed is what dictates the use case. You use batch for historical reports and streaming for real-time alerts. But take a look at the bottom line. That incredible speed doesn't come for free. Streaming generally has a higher cloud cost, and that's the central tension we always have to manage as engineers. All right, let's dive in, starting with the classic, the OG, really, batch processing. This is the tried and true workhorse of the data world. It's perfect when you need reliability and cost effectiveness way more than you need pure speed. So, what does a typical batch job actually look like in the wild? Let's follow the data on its journey. It often kicks off with a nightly export from some database. A scheduler, maybe something like Airflow, automatically starts the process. That big chunk of data then gets dropped into a simple cloud storage bucket, like Amazon's S3. From there, a transformation tool, in this case AWS Glue, gets to work cleaning and reshaping the data. And finally, it's loaded into a powerful data warehouse like Redshift, so it's all prepped and ready for analysis in a dashboarding tool like Power BI the next morning. It's a very predictable, step-by-step, and super robust process. So when do you actually reach for this kind of architecture? Well, it's perfect for things that don't need an answer right this second. We're talking about your end-of-month sales reports, or a deep financial analysis over a whole quarter's worth of data, or maybe you're training a massive machine learning model on historical trends. For these kinds of jobs, waiting a few hours is totally fine. Okay, but what happens when waiting just isn't an option? What if you need answers now? Well, that brings us to the modern alternative. If batch is the reliable country road, then streaming is the multi-lane superfreeway. This is where data moves at the speed of business, and it unlocks completely new capabilities. And right away, you can see how different this whole thing looks. There's no scheduled nightly job to kick things off. Instead, you have events flowing continuously from apps and devices straight into a message queue like Kafka or Kinesis, which act like these massive central data hubs. From there, a powerful processing engine like Flink or Spark jumps on each event the moment it arrives to analyze it. The results, they're sent immediately to a live dashboard or an API. It's a constant living, breathing system. And this just brilliantly shows you the kind of power we're talking about. Think about it. You can't tell a customer to wait 8 hours to find out if their credit card transaction was fraudulent. You can't run a ride-sharing service using yesterday's traffic data. These kinds of use cases are only possible with real-time streaming data. Get this, less than 200 milliseconds. That's literally faster than you can blink. It's the time it takes for an event to leave your phone, zip through a cloud messaging system, get processed by a tool, maybe hit an AI model for a prediction, and then return an answer to you. That right there is the incredible power of a well-built streaming architecture. Okay, so we've got batch for looking back and streaming for acting now. But what if you need both? I mean, that's where the really sophisticated data platforms live, right? The best ones don't choose one or the other. They cleverly merge them into what we call hybrid architectures. The classic way to do this is with something called the Lambda architecture. It all starts with a batch layer. Think of this as the bedrock of your system. It processes all of your incoming data in these large, slow batches to create a comprehensive, completely accurate historical record. This is your ultimate source of truth. Okay, so you got that solid foundation. But at the exact same time, all that raw data is also flowing into a speed layer, and its job is the complete opposite of the batch layer. It processes data immediately as it arrives to give you an up-to-the-second view of the world, even if it's maybe slightly less perfect than the historical record.
And this is where the magic happens. A third component, the serving layer, takes that rock-solid historical data from the batch layer and cleverly combines it with the instant insights from the speed layer. So when you ask a question, you get a single, unified answer that is both historically accurate and completely up-to-date.
Now, the Lambda architecture is incredibly powerful, but let's be honest, managing two separate codebases for your batch and speed layers, that can get complicated. And that's what led to a newer, simpler idea, the Kappa architecture. The core idea here is kind of radical. What if we just treat everything as a stream? In this model, all data flows into a central log like Kafka. It's processed in real time by an engine like Flink, and then it lands in a modern storage format like Delta Lake, which is smart enough to serve both fast, real-time queries and slower historical analysis from the very same place. Now, inside these streaming and hybrid systems, you've got another big choice to make, your processing engine. The two heavyweights here are Spark Streaming and Apache Flink. Spark Streaming is fantastic for general ETL and BI. It works in these tiny micro batches, which gets you latency down to a few seconds. Flink, though, is a true event-at-a-time processor. It can achieve millisecond latency, which makes it the go-to choice for ultra-low latency stuff like fraud detection and IoT. All right, we have covered a ton of ground. Fundamentals, architectures, tools. So how do you actually put all this together and make the right call for your project? Let's distill everything down into a practical guide. Here you go. This is your cheat sheet. If you're building daily reports or doing deep market trend analysis, batch is your best friend. Simple, reliable, cost-effective. But for anything that needs an instant reaction, like fraud detection or IoT alerts, you absolutely need streaming. There's no other way. And for those really complex systems, like a recommendation engine that needs both deep historical context and real-time signals, a hybrid architecture is really the way to go. So let's just boil this all down to the three key takeaways you need to remember. 1. Choose batch for reliability and cost efficiency when you can afford to wait. 2. Choose streaming when your application absolutely must react instantly. And 3. Use a hybrid model when you need the ultimate power and flexibility of having both historical depth and real-time awareness. And this really is the absolute core lesson, right here. There's no single best architecture. The best engineers don't have a favorite tool. They have a deep understanding of the trade-offs, and they select the right pattern that precisely matches the business problem they're trying to solve. And the really great news here is that it doesn't matter what cloud you're on, AWS, Azure, or GCP, all the tools you need to build any of these architectures are right there, waiting for you. The technology exists. The real skill, the real power, lies in your ability to choose wisely. So, as you head into your next project, the choice is yours. You have the playbook. The only question left is, which path are you going to take?